so Amy and I find that over the years that we don't usually end up at like yacht clubs. You know, we sail into some weird places, and we tend to find that we end up like 3 streets up in places like the Crow's Nest, you know, just to give an example. You know, in that type of place. And for years we wondered about that, and then one day it settled in, it goes, I guess this is where we fit, you know, because this is where we end up. So it comes down to, we're in this place in Central America, really similar to this. Use your imagination, okay? And please, theater, take no offense. But it's really similar to this. Had a tin roof over our head, and chickens were running around the floor and the tables. And as a songwriter, I'm always listening, because you never know where you're going to get the next story. And so there's a table, like over here, right? A table over here, and there's this drop-dead gorgeous woman, and there's this guy, and he leans over and goes, are you sure your husband's not going to show up? I said, ooh, that's a good story happening there. You know, I can use that, that's good. And then there's a table over here, you know, and there's a couple gringos, and they've been into their cups, and the guy goes, so how many years of that statute of limitations do you have left before you can go home? I said, yeah, there's something happening there. And it came to discover, you go in those places, and you meet your newest best friend. About 2 in the morning, after having quite a few drinks, you find that you are solving all the world's problems. Things look pretty good at 2 in the morning, you know? You say, wow, man, this world's better. We solved a lot here tonight. But you find the next morning, and the harsh reality of the day, that you didn't solve them all, but hope runs eternal because there's another night coming. So this is a song called Bring Out The Bourbon, and it's about solving problems. 1, 2, 3, 4. see that look. Okay, for those of you that don't know, in those days of Prohibition, when they were smuggling all that alcohol into these northeast harbors and into Nova Scotia, and those old tall ships and schooners were running, the code word for rum was tea. So let's say you're right here in Rockport Harbor, and some old schooner captain leans out the wheelhouse and he says, "Spot the tea?" Really, you don't know the answer to that? Somebody offers you a cup of tea and you go, "Huh." I think the answer is, "Yes, I'll bring out the bourbon. You can bring out the tea." A little maritime history for you. Then you can tell me everything's wrong with me. Pour the cards on the table. Let's get this right. We can solve all the problems in the world tonight. Pour the cards on the table. Let's get this right. We can solve all the problems in the world tonight. We can solve all the problems in the world tonight. So let's solve some problems tonight.